If you are a pencil collector, is there any such thing as a pencil which is just too small to keep? Hello everyone. Recently, in a review of a fine product from Japan, a pencil extender with pocket clip and eraser. You can watch that review on my channel if you so choose. Very useful and interesting device. But in that review, we looked at the mason jar full of pencil ends that I have accumulated, and this isn't all, sadly, of the tiny pencil ends that I have kept. But when one collects, one runs into the problem of when to let something go, or when it just doesn't fit in the collection. So today I want to discuss some pencils that are likely to be overlooked by your average collector, but which I can't seem to let go for a number of reasons. In this short box are pencils that maybe are of intermediate size, so they're not quite small enough yet for the stub jar, although some of these I think probably could fall into either category. So these are larger than those in general, and some of them have been treated quite badly over their lifetime. But for one reason or another, I am hesitant to let them go. One, because I'm the sort of person who doesn't like to let anything go. And those of you who know me in real life are saying amen to that. But here is the thing. Often I will find pencils in this form. Say I will pick up a bundle of pencils from the local thrift shop, or a box of pencils at a flea market or estate sale, and they will include lots of new pencils and barely used pencils, but will also include bits and pieces, ends, unused ends of pencils that have been used probably past their usefulness to the person who owned them, but are still interesting to me. Maybe because it is from a brand that I seldom see, or a variant of a pencil that is more common but is unique because it is a rarer variant of that pencil. So I have this box of, and by the way, the cigar box, my brother, when he goes to estate sales, will look for cigar boxes for me to keep my pencil collection in. As it turns out, this one was too short for your average brand new pencil, but is perfect for the used remains of pencils. So let's just look, just for fun, at some of the pencils here in this box to see what sorts of things I'm likely to hang on to, even though to most collectors they would be absolutely useless. In total honesty, the entire pencil collection to the vast majority of folks would be totally useless. But I find simple objects to be fascinating, and that's the entire point of my channel, I suppose. Cars of the world, Thunderbird. I do have a set of other race cars of the world that has an actual, they're colored and have a image, a drawing of the car that it represents. Thunderbird USA. Does it say who made this? Nope, just first series, number 22 of 36. The vast majority of pencils in here also are manufacturer pencils, like off the shelf from an office supply or something like that, and not sort of specialty souvenir or novelty type pencils. That's kind of an anomaly in here. I do end up with a lot of these Wallace Invaders. That and the Templar by Reliance make up a larger than expected portion of this. Suddenly I can't see it. I'm sure we'll find a Templar. There we go. Whenever I find one of those, I just have a hard time throwing them out because I love the name. I love the look. They're classic. Oops, grabbed the wrong one. Classic school and office pencils. Reliance by Templar has the 777 number. Here's a 511 Wallace Invader. Both product names that would be unlikely to be chosen in today's kinder, gentler pencil market. Unique ferrules on both of those, kind of a burgundy or a deep wine stripe on that ferrule. And that ferrule may be brass based on appearance. This one could also be brass, but has a sky blue. At least I think at one time it was completely sky blue. Something from the supermarket chain Publix, presumably. There's a Ticonderoga. I think you can still buy these in pretty much this exact format. Nothing too unusual there. Trusty by Empire. I'm sure I have longer versions of this, but you don't see them that often anymore. So here it stays, another Invader in a slightly different iteration. This one with the W blue ribbon Wallace logo. I'm not sure the other one had that. Well, actually looking at it, it kind of did. Other Templar 777. What's this? Turquoise. Not that interesting. Special use pencil for dialing the rotary telephone. For information about savings, dial 48181. Doesn't even say the name of the company, but presumably a bank or credit union, savings and loan, something of that nature, but has the specialized tip that was intended to aid in dialing those old rotary telephones. Kind of cool. A period piece. Beckley Carty, Smooth Writing 105, number 2 2/4. Another representative of the battles to claim copyright over 2.5 or 2.5. So you saw lots of unreduced fractions to avoid copyright disputes. You don't see many pencils from this manufacturer anymore. I believe it's pronounced Ruwe, R-U-W-E. You can see that, Ruwe Pencil Company. Or Rue, I'm not sure. Maybe someone can help with the pronunciation there. This one is named Hospital. Always thought that was a curious name for a pencil model. Hospital. Marketed toward healthcare workers? Couldn't tell you. For charting or some such, you'd think a pen would be the chosen vehicle for that. Writing down vitals and whatnot. I think I have a few of these here in this box, but yeah, one you just don't see that often, at least where I live. Venus Velvet from the Faber-Castell years. Eagle Comfort. I know I have some of these in much better condition, but for some reason I just couldn't let go of this one. It has the Flying Eagle E logo that I love so much. Eagle Comfort 602 in what looks like a brass ferrule. This one I think we already looked at, Wallace Invader. In very rough shape. Mysteriously named Mr. Big. Don't know any story behind this one. Made in USA. Who made this? What Mr. Big refers to? Could not tell you. Metallic green. Looks like a not very old example. Maybe 80s and 90s. But the mysterious name causes it to remain here in my collection. Empire from the years when they like to put their names and info in a horizontal type orientation on their pencils. Choice by Empire, with a logo that could be flipped around to make the Pedigree logo, which was the same company. Oh, what's that? Okay, I think I have another example of this that you can read better. Franzwell, Franzwell. I don't know if you'll be able to see that in this light. Number 119. Don't know anything else about this, but it is clearly an old pencil based on the look of the ferrule. Need to learn more about that. I'm sure Bob Truby's site will tell us something. Oh, another kind of mystery. Something ARRY. I would say berry, but it looks like a D or a J or an O. Something Hardwick, Vermont. But look at that ferrule. Looks like brass. Very strange. It's a longer than average ferrule, and the hex is very pronounced. Very cool. I've never seen a ferrule quite like that. So whatever company this was made for, they chose the more expensive option. Went with a really nice looking ferrule on this pencil. It also has kind of sharp corners, Musgrave-esque on those corners. Another Templar, another Invader. Like I said, whenever I see one, it goes in this box because I just can't throw them out. They're sure not making any more. They also tend to be in grades other than 2. This one is a 2, but often you see them in 3 or even 4 or 2.5. And I think they were the chosen pencil for technical drawers, architects and engineers and such like that wanted a lighter mark. Advertising pencil here. Someone has stuck a clip on it. I just left it. Who's the clip from? Scripto. How about that? Scripto, the mechanical pencil manufacturer from Atlanta. Palomino, number 171. Unrelated to the company that resurrected the Blackwing pencils and continues to resurrect them in every color known to man and some colors not known to man. I don't know who manufactured this, but I don't believe it's any relation to the Cal Cedar Palomino line of pencil making. Venus Velvet. Skillcraft. I think Kevin at Always Analog talked a little bit about these recently. Usually government contracted, started out as a sort of a benefits program almost for individuals who were blind or disabled. They were operating factories where these individuals that had some sort of disability would be trained to make pencils or pens or whatever it was, and they would work in these factories, and they had government contracts to supply for government agencies. And I have a number of mechanical pencils with that name, but there we saw a wood case pencil. Wallace Invader, number 3, as I mentioned. They tend to have grades other than 2. USA Federal, 141, number 2.5. Looks like a brass ferrule, or at least brassy colored. I like the look of it. Don't know anything else about that one. Another Templar and a different grade, different logo. Award. Anyone know who made the Award pencil? This, the wood feels extruded to me. That might be a plastic or kind of an Epcon process plastic pencil. The Black Warrior, the famed Black Warrior, any of these that I find are also going to be going in my collection regardless of how small. Templar again. SSS 1973. We have a date on this one. That one needs a fresh sharpened metallic red. Interesting. I'm making this way longer than it needs to be, aren't I? You know what? It's my channel. USCO, USCO, USCO. Can't see much more on that. The clip obviously was added later. There's another version of the Rui Hospital. 385 is the product number there. Ticonderoga, obviously. Penway. 2017. I don't know if that's a year of manufacture. I would find that hard to believe based on the appearance of it. It looks significantly older than that to my eyes. But what do I know? Milbro bonded from Quill. I think you can still buy Quill branded pencils. Seems like that's a kind of a house name for a company still releasing office supplies. Another Templar 777. The blueprint is wearing away, leaving gold behind it. So that's kind of a neat, an extra step they take in the stamping process that makes it look upscale. Invader. What's this? Oh boy. This is a curious one. From B&W or BW. Oh boy. Number 2 out of St. Louis. I'm trying to remember what other, was it Wallace that was producing out of St. Louis? I think that might be the case. So maybe related, the W and BW. I'm not certain. But a name on a pencil that I've never seen other than this one example. Oh boy. Route. Not any particular route, just route. No manufacturer info. Nothing at all on that, but I probably kept it because I like the ferrule so much. Which happens surprisingly often with somebody like me. This one, no info, just premium. That's all we know about it, it's premium. Not sure I would describe it like that other than the ferrule. Needs a good cleaning, get some Brasso on that, but just love the look. Tudor pencils. Royal name like that. Deserves a place in here. Let's speed this along. What else do we have that's interesting? More Templars. More Invaders. Big Value. Got these triangle motif down the side. Big Value. Made in USA. Number 2. No idea who the manufacturer is. Look at the unique ferrule. Ferrule design has fallen a long way from its pinnacle, I will say. What else? United Airlines. Eagle Murado. Those are plentiful enough, but probably don't need to preserve that. We've got Firestone. Made by some unknown pencil manufacturer for the Firestone brand. Wallace Bright Tone. I know I have this in a nearly unused example in my main collection, but you see it so infrequently I couldn't toss it aside. What's this? And I know I have a complete set of these play cards by Empire. Short for maybe a bridge set or something like that. This one I'm having trouble reading. I think it says Norman 67 number 2 pencil. The ferrule tells me this is an aged pencil. Don't know who made it. I'm not certain that says Norman. Dorman. Round edge, describing presumably the rounded off softened corners. To increase your comfort while writing, they opted for a very nice upscale brass ferrule on this. Model number 135. Don't know the manufacturer. Pyramid Anniversary. I only know it's Pyramid because I have other versions of this. In a nice metallic green. It's another maker you don't see often. There's another Route. Some of these red and blue. And I know Kevin just recently released a review of some of those red and blue double-ended pencils. Twilight. There's a Dixon Crest. It's a Dixon model you don't see very frequently. What else? Another red and blue. From a time period when these dipped marbled pencils were a fad. All it says is made in USA. No model on there. There's another Franswell. This one's easier to read. Made in USA, bonded lead. Franswell, 119. Don't know anything about it. I'm hoping as I go through here that someone will volunteer information. There's another, I thought we had a Big Value that looked different. Big Value from Belmont. Oh, Rexall, so it's a drugstore maybe? A drugstore chain, I think. Onward. Manufacturer not known. Got to wrap this up. Another Big Value from Rexall Drugs. The first one I've seen that is printed in the left-handed orientation in this box. It says 2002, but there's no way that's an actual manufacture date. They weren't making pencils like this in 2002, I don't think. Also BW, like the Oh Boy, was that the BW? I'll have to go back and watch. Modoc, M-O-D-O-C, number 2, St. Louis, BW. Huh. That one I'll have to go to Bob Truby's site and find out more about. Another round edge. Anything else really unique in here we need to look at? Another Skillcraft. Skillcraft. It's this. Nothing. Doesn't have anything on it at all. How did that make the cut? Flare. The whimsical flourishes on either side. Anybody else before we get done? Easy Rider. Made after the film, perhaps, as a play on words. There's an old Van Dyke from when they were artist pencils without the Blackwing-esque erasers. I think that will just about do it. Election pencil. This is an election pencil without the loop at the end to tie it to the polling station. So must have been from a high trust voting district. Perry's Perfect. There's no way you'll be able to see that. That's what it says. Perry's Perfect. Look at the patina, the age on that ferrule. Anyway, if you don't see why I hang on to ends of pencils that are interesting to me, well, I understand. It's just either you're wired that way or you're not, and it turns out I am. So with a product like the clip pencil extender, pencil holder, still made in Japan, buy it through St. Louis Art Supply. These pencils can provide miles of graphite letters still today. Still useful. The great thing about graphite, I always say, unlike your ballpoint pens, put it in a drawer, take it out in 100 years. It will still work the first time, every time. Make sure I can fit them all in here. We'll close it up and close out this video. If anyone is still watching, God bless you. Thanks for watching this pencil video. Hope to see you here again next time.